Hey everyone, Chef Jason Hill here, and today I'm going to prepare a mushroom soup. There are several different types of mushroom soups out there. This one is known as the Hungarian mushroom soup. Let me show you how I do it. Okay, all I have here is your standard button mushrooms, and to slice these up, you like to take off one little edge or one little side, so that way you have a flat working surface. And typically you use the tip of your chef knife and just go down and slice up your mushroom. So you take one little side off, get that flat working surface, and you just slice away. Just kidding. Now that we've sliced up our 1.5 pounds of mushrooms, I've already got together the rest of my mise en place, so let's start cooking. I'm going to turn my burner on to a medium-high heat and get our stock pot or soup pot on there. And after a few seconds of warming up, I'm going to drop in 2 tablespoons of butter. After our butter melts down, we're going to stir in 2 cups of diced white onion. And we'll want to cook these down for about 5 minutes. We don't want to brown them, we just want to get them softened and translucent. Okay, after a few minutes, I'm also going to add my garlic-shallot puree. A lot of Hungarian soup recipes don't call for garlic, but I have to put it in there. Got about a teaspoon here. If you don't have this made up, you can throw a clove of garlic in there if you like. And let's stir that up really good. After 5 minutes, I'm going to add the sliced mushrooms. And get them in there without making a mess. And we're going to cook these down until they sweat out all their moisture. Okay, after we get our mushrooms going, it's time to add the salt. I have kosher salt here. I'm going to add about a teaspoon or a couple pinches, followed by 2 to 3 teaspoons of dried dill weed. If you have fresh, go for it. Use about 3 teaspoons if you have fresh. Just kind of break it up with your fingers as you add the dry. Cracking that dry dill with your fingers brings out the flavor, makes it pop a little bit more. Next we have a tablespoon of Hungarian paprika. Sprinkle that in there. 1 tablespoon. Stir this up really good. And let those mushrooms continue to cook for about another 10 minutes. All right, after our mushrooms have cooked down for about 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice. Once you stir that around, now we're going to add 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. We're going to stir this up and cook this for about 5 minutes. So we're making a little bit of a roux here with the fat from the butter in there. You want that flour to cook off a little bit. You don't want to be tasting the pasty flour. You want that cooked flour, that nutty aroma coming off of there in a few minutes. Now it's time to add our 2 cups. I'm using chicken broth. You can use vegetable stock, mushroom stock, or water. A lot of the Hungarian mushroom soup recipes I see just call for water, but I like some sort of stock for more flavor. After we've stirred it up, I reduce the heat to about a medium-low, and we're going to cover and let that go for 10 minutes. Okay, while our soup is in the final stages of its cooking process, we're going to go ahead and make up our garnish, which is just the zest of 1 lemon and a small bunch of Italian parsley. We're using Italian parsley in a Hungarian soup. Get all that zest off. Be careful not to go too deep to where you get the white rind, because that's bitter. That's about it. Just a little rough chop. After 10 minutes of simmering, I remove the lid, and this is what you want it to look like. Okay, to finish it off, while it's still hot, we're going to stir in a cup of heavy cream, or you can use milk. I like it a little more creamier, so I do the heavy cream. And then to add insult to injury, I also like to stir in a half a cup of sour cream. And you want to whisk this really quick. And you don't want to cook anymore after this. You're going to serve it immediately. Last step, fresh cracked pepper. I'm a pepper freak, so I'm almost out of pepper. Ooh, not good. All right, last thing to do after you add your pepper, give it a final taste to see if it needs any more salt. I added about a teaspoon at the beginning. I think I'm going to put another pinch in. Got it right over here. Other than that, it's perfect. It's a great soup. Let's add this to our bowl. Oh, look at that. A little bit more, about a 6-ounce serving. And this will make about 4 to 5 6-ounce servings. You have your soup in the bowl. It's time to garnish with our fresh chopped parsley and some fresh lemon zest. Just a little bit on top. You don't want too much to overpower. Okay, if you're a fan of mushrooms and soup, or maybe you're lacking in vitamin D, give this recipe a try. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, thanks for tuning in. That's a really good soup. For more simple and delicious recipes, click on these links. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.